Any questions? Are there any questions? Here's the thing. On the last Sunday of summer, the Rams take the fall. The Rams take the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Eagles Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Barrett Brooks, Ron Jaworski, Jason Avant, Reuben Frank, all in studio. We're going to hear all the interviews coming up, but the Eagles win it 33-26.
Let's go. Let's go. Barrett's bold prediction that Jordan Davis would block a field goal and return it 90 yards for a touchdown.
All-time bold.
That's a great call by you.
I'll tell you what, that was as nail-biting a game and as exciting a game. The first half, you should have heard Jaws and I on the stream on the halftime update, because we crushed this team for giving away points, for playing poor defense, for not having a good offense. Barrett Brooks, when you look at them come off now, and it was 19-7 at halftime, and then 26-7.
It's intestinal fortitude. This team say, all right, there's no way we're going to lose this game, and they found a way to win it. It's incredible how good the offense turned in, and then the defense come and shadow them and start doing and getting a couple stops also. This is one of the games, I need my Pepto-Bismol because my stomach is doing flips right now.
Michael, you were right, though. I was gutting them at halftime when we did it. They should have been. That was a 4 o'clock kickoff. It was like, where's the team?
Yeah.
They flipped the script, and away we go.
What won this for them, in your view, Jaws?
Defense. I obviously got the ball to A.J. and Devontae started making plays. That was key, but I thought the defense started getting pressure, started making plays, started getting stops, turning the football over, and now suddenly we controlled the second half.
For me, it was A.J. Brown. Oh, my God.
Amazing. We sat here and watched.
Yep. After that first half, didn't have a catch. I think he had 109 yards in the second half alone. Those two plays on the last drive, the 25-yard or the 20, so physical, so tough, so strong. He wasn't going to be denied. And, it's incredible to me that he got 35 yards through 2.5 games. And you look at him, it's like, just keep throwing him the football. Guy's unbelievable.
Offensively, Jace, what did you think in the second half? What brought them, you got to score the points to get on the board, except at the very end here.
Well, I got to give a shout out to the defense, because the defense made the game attainable still, because they offensively eggs nothing in the first half, but the defense kept giving them opportunity after opportunity, and then going no huddle and started to just put the ball in Jalen's hands. And Jalen has always been accurate with the football. He needs those opportunities, and for the run game not to kind of hold him back at times. And you saw them make an emphasis, like I've been saying and all of us have been saying this entire year. You need an emphasis on getting A.J. Brown the ball. They did that, and he showed up for them in the critical moments.
Jalen Carter right there with it. He had a block. Jordan Davis had a block and a touchdown. And you're right. The defense made it attainable for them.
This was the Georgia days right here, because these guys would block kicks at Georgia like this, and they would take turns, and this would happen this game in the critical moments.
In fact, it looked like that.
Yeah.
It looked like they were, shoulder to shoulder. Going, what we used to do, right?
But let me ask everybody this, though. Is it because of play calling that they didn't have, the passes, or is it just Jalen making his mind up that he's going to pass it? Someone in the second half.
We haven't mentioned Lane Johnson went out.
Oh, for
the anchor of that offensive line. Lane went out, and Pryor struggled. That was the difference.
Pryor never should have been in there in the first place.
Right.
Fred Johnson should be the swing guy.
Fred Johnson it's not just about Fred Johnson being in there.
It's a big part of it, though.
It's more so about Pryor being in there with no help. You can't go play action backed up on your own.
But that's not what they do. That's not what they do. They never give guys help.
You got Pryor back there. You give help. That's it.
Well, they've had other people in there. They've had other people in there worse than Pryor, and they just don't call an offense in the passing game. But they never help them, man. That's why you have to have studs.
I've seen them help with Lane before.
It was the first time we've seen Jalen get into a rhythm this year. Just where he's just dropping back and just looks confident, and you just feel like he's going to complete this pass, where the first couple games in the first half tonight, it was like, he's not going to complete it. Something's going to go wrong here. So,
Ruben, he took the game over.
He took the game over.
I totally agree. And it was more, not only physically, emotionally. You could see him started screaming at guys in the sideline. He was ticked off. And, normally he's cool, calm, collected. He took the bull by the horns and said, hey, we're going to start winning this football game. And he didn't. He started believing in Devontae, started believing in A.J., and all of a sudden things started happening. The running game started clicking, the line coming off the ball, the defense making stops. I believe it was Jalen Hurts that really turned his team around.
And was Jalen Hurts calling these plays?
Yeah.
They come in.
That's what I want to know.
So when you're in
Sure looked like it, didn't it?
when you're in 2-minute offense, even if Jalen's not calling them, it's offense that he knows. It's the most practice of all the offense that you're going to have in a year, because at the end of every practice you do 2-minute drills.
Absolutely.
But yes, Jalen is the one usually giving the signs. I saw him give a money call, and I saw him give a down call and different things like that. So
Roscoe,
to me, I thought Jalen was the one orchestrating the offense, and it's things that he knows, so he didn't have to go through the minutia of trying to decode the defense when he just knows what to do on those plays.
Yeah, it made those guys back off a lot, too. Once they went into that 2-minute, they backed off a lot, stopped sending pressure a lot because you don't know what they're going to do up front. So when they're in that 2-minute, it's hard to keep those guys, from running what they want to run, because it doesn't make a difference. They have comebacks. They have, drive patterns in the middle of the field. I thought they went to the middle of the field a lot more in the second half as opposed to the first half also.
They shut down Saquon. Was that at 46 yards, 2.6 yards per carry? That's unheard of unless it's a Super Bowl, of course. And I thought they didn't take advantage of it, the Eagles' offense, initially as much as they should have. Would you agree with that? Because they stuffed them up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they waited a little long to go to the passing game and throw it every down, because that was their best hope in this game. 2 quick notes here. This is the biggest comeback for the Eagles, down 19 in Philadelphia since 1988. They were down 20 points against the Cowboys and beat them 24-23 at the Vet. And it's their 6th biggest comeback in franchise history, down 19 points.
So one more time, biggest comeback since 1988 when they were down 20
in Philly
to Dallas.
Biggest comeback anywhere since the Giants game up at the Meadowlands, the Deshaun walk-off punt return in 2010.
Wow.
So,
Jace, were you there for that one?
Yeah, I was concussed.
Oh, you got a concussion on the return.
The block that set him free.
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
It was a hell of a block, though.
It's this kind of game that sets you well up for the future. Now, this is a game you remember if you're down 5 weeks from now by 2 touchdowns. Hey, we did it against the Rams. We were down. We're playing terrible. We come back and win the football game. That's where it sits in the back of your brain. You go, okay, the positivity that comes out of this comeback will serve you well for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And also, I think they found something in a passing game, which you knew it was there somewhere. You knew at some point it was going to click, but you got to go into the rest of it. Going to Tampa, going to Denver, whoever they have after Tampa. I know, Jaws, you take it one at a time.
One game at a time, bro.
But you kind of feel like, we finally figured some things out after 2.5 games in the passing game.
Yeah, let's go.
It's called to give A.J. Brown the ball. That's what it's called.
Let's go.
That's about
let's go across the street to Ashlyn Sullivan.
Really simple, isn't it?
And Dave Zangaro. If you're a Super Bowl champion, this is how you show you're championship worthy the following season, isn't it, guys?
Oh, Michael, it was a very overwhelming, exciting tunnel that we just watched. I can't say everything, it's not safe for TV, everything we heard, but Saquon Barkley, I thought he summed it up perfectly. That is how you fight back. This game seemed over. This Eagles team comes roaring back. The level of excitement, that was more than I saw in the playoffs last year.
That was a wild end to this game, and it does show you, they got off to a pretty awful start in this game. It's hard to have a worse start than they did, but to see the offense come alive in that second half, to see Jordan Davis on the very final play of the game become the hero of this one. Just an exceptional game. It's someone we'll remember for a long time.
It is, and we're very excited to go in and talk to A.J. Brown and this offense in that locker room. Also Jordan Davis, but I heard you guys talking at the start of the show, carrying on that momentum, getting this fast passing game figured out, now going to a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team on the road. I think that's the most encouraging sign of this game, is she got a little bit of momentum with that passing game finally.
Yeah, it looked good in that second half, and really, losing Lane Johnson is a tough blow. He's one of their best players, one of the guys they can least afford to lose. They put Matt Pryor out there. It wasn't going well. Then he put Big Fred Johnson in there, and it seemed to be the catalyst of the offense once they shored up that protection, and then A.J. Brown just playing a grown man style of football out there.
Absolutely. We're expecting a pretty exciting locker room here coming soon, guys. Send it back over to you.
All right, Ashlyn, Dave, thanks a lot. We'll get back to you in the locker room after an exciting 33-26 last-second win by the Eagles on a block kick and touchdown return by Jordan Davis. That's as thrilling a finish as we have seen in a long, long time.
I'm too old for that, though, man.
I think we all are, but we can stand it to see. I'd see that every Sunday if it meant winning games. But when you look at this, the fact of the matter is that is how you assert your championship status, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about it. This team is going to get everybody's best. We're the Super Bowl champions, so it's like they're going to play in 17 Super Bowls this year because everybody circled them on the calendar. So, I mean, you got to come. You're going to have some woes. You're going to have some times where things are going well for you. But for them to fight back, learn how to win, just like Jaws said, you got to put this in your memory bank. All right, we've done it before. Since we've done it before, it should be muscle memory. Let's go ahead and do it again.
You know what really impressed me, guys, is they weren't just losing. I mean, they were getting manhandled.
Yes,
they were getting out-physicaled. They were just getting outplayed in every phase. They were getting killed.
We didn't stop the run at no point this game.
We never
stopped the run.
Hold on, wait. When it counted, we did.
Well, that's what I'm getting.
Fourth down.
I'm getting there.
Go ahead.
I'm getting there, and I thought that play turned the game around.
And who did it? Big Davis.
Jordan Davis, what a player he's become. Got in great shape, great attitude. So happy for him because he's put in the work. It's been a frustrating career for him, but, man, he's playing at such a high level. How cool is it to see him running down the field?
Oh, my God.
Kind of reminded you of Mike Patterson in San Francisco. Remember when he had that, 98-yard fumble recovery?
Yeah. But just not that run. How about the run when he made Stafford run out of bounds?
That was a huge play on third down.
Yeah, he stopped him on that. Yeah.
That was a sack.
It's like him and Carter reverse roles right now.
Yeah.
That's a great point. He's the Georgia interior lineman who's playing the best.
Exactly.
By the way, they were booed off the field at halftime.
And deserved it.
Yeah, and deservedly so. And 6 straight scores by the Rams. And you're thinking they're just going to keep going right on through that Eagles defense. But when you look at the defense tightening up and then the offense coming back, and you talked about it, Ruben, Jalen Hurts and the rhythm he found, which was great, and really hitting everybody.
And in the first half, he took some shots now.
He did.
He took some shots to the head. I mean, he got whacked a couple times. I thought, oh, boy.
He's a tough dude.
He's not only big, strong, he's tough.
Listen to this, Jaws. 4 for 8 for 17 yards in the first half. That's Jalen's numbers before halftime. Second half, 17 for 24, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's more like it, Jalen.
They had -1 yard.
-1 passing yard. That's
Take a
hard
look
to
at the
do.
QB comparison.
Teams on a bye had more passing yards.
And presented by Team Toyota, Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford. And Hurts with that passer rating of 117.4. That's what you get when you go 21 of 32 for 226 yards. At one point in the first quarter, it was about 6. And he came back big time. Stafford, 19 of 33. And when you look at the sacks for both of them, I mean, Jalen, as Jaws just said, he took a couple of good thumps from Jared Verse and company. Verse really hit him in the first half.
Well, Verse had a great game. We couldn't stop him either. He played his butt off. He got Verse paid. Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor almost got him into the Pro Bowl this game. But I mean, they switched. Fred Johnson comes in, changed the whole outlook on how they ran the offense. They could trust him more. In the passing game, and then we talk about that running game. Sometimes, 3 yards here, you get 5 yards here, 3 yards here. I'm the guy that always wants to run the damn ball. But this time, I am so glad they went to the pass. So glad.
Save the tape. Save the tape. I want to hear Barrett.
This is a first. This is a historic moment.
I mean, pass the ball. I'm like, looking at, right across. Jason, Jason. Tell him to pass the ball. Stop running. Pass the ball.
Although I'll tell you what, that one Saquon run for the first down, first and goal.
Oh, yeah. That was huge.
But he had been bottled up. He did it all by himself, got 4 yards.
He goes over an offensive lineman and gets the first down and makes sure he puts it across and then puts his head down and made sure he didn't fumble it then. Just securing the ball. That's a lot of stuff in this game we can break down. There's a lot of stuff they're going to have to go through and get coached on, too. That's the big thing.
Tampa Bay next week. That's a tough one.
Yeah. On
to Tampa Bay.
We're not done. Not yet, Jaws. We're not going on to Tampa.
Yeah.
Did you think they were going to be able to overcome the way they did?
No, it was looking bad because they were getting beat up front. On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
And that's usually my telltale sign if a team's going to be able to come back or be able to adjust. You can't do anything if you're getting beat up front offensively and defensively, but they made the adjustment with Fred Johnson, and then they gave the star the ball. That's A.J. Brown. Did you see him eat the ball, come back to it? I started growling.
But hold on,
And
before
then
that,
he steps over him and then gets yards after the catch like multiple times. This guy deserves the football. It's not something that should be negotiated. You shouldn't have to negotiate this or have conversations. I was mad at the beginning of this game because you have a first drive which he doesn't get a target even at the line of scrimmage. No, get the man the ball.
Oh, hold on, listen. Now, can we go to the wide 4, please? Thank you. Wide 5. Well, look at this. He said it in halftime. I said, oh my goodness. So he was, me and Mike was sitting there. He said, oh my goodness. Watch the onslaught. And we're like, yeah, the offensive onslaught. Yeah, the Eagles. He said, no, not the Eagles. I'm talking about the Rams. So I'm so glad it didn't happen. But
they turned it around.
Yeah,
they gave the ball to Jalen.
Anybody who says they saw this coming,
no,
they're lying. No, you're lying.
No, for sure.
There's no way. Because they were getting beat up on both. I mean, they were losing on both sides of the ball. The defense couldn't stop the Rams. The offense couldn't get a first down. I'll tell you what, I give Jalen you saw Jalen like talking to the defensive guys on the sideline, talking to the offensive guys.
He was animated.
I give him so much credit because he could have been frustrated. He could have been the one yelling at the coaches and throwing his helmet down. He kept it together. He stayed calm. And he got this team going again. I'm convinced that he is the heartbeat of this franchise, and we saw it in the second.
That's a trait we don't talk about a lot. We never talk about it.
But I also think it was a matter of want to, and that Los Angeles came in here. They lost the last 2 and much more overall to the Eagles. They got thumped on the first game. They lost the divisional round game, and they were loaded for bear, and they came in here, and then they just pushed the birds around the field in the first half. And the Eagles turned it around. They held.
So my point to that was in the 2 games last year we played the Rams. They averaged high into the 4s when it came to running the football. But they were so reluctant and impatient when it came to the run game. Today, they stuck with the run game for the most part while they were leading. And I thought that was the difference in the ball game because even last year, they were able to run the ball on us consistently, but they want to throw the ball around the yard so much that it hinders them. And today, they didn't stop running the ball.
Yeah, they were patient.
Which made it a lot harder to even come back in this game.
Yeah, star of the game is Jordan Davis. Let's take a look. Hold that thought.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Here's Jordan Davis post-game in the locker room.
Mine on that block and run in the open field.
It came down to just the technique and the fundamentals of everything. A lot of people look at field goal block as just another play, just another down, put your hands up, get off the field, check a box. But the way we talked about it on the sideline, we knew, especially off his last kick, we knew his angle. We knew his launch point when it's at the 30-yard line, somewhere around there. And we just hit the gap, put our hands up at the right time. And then I seen the ball on the ground, and then at that point, I knew it was a no-my situation, but we just took off from there. I wanted possession, so I wanted to make sure that we ended the game right. Didn't know I was going to go that fast. Didn't know I was going to make it all the way to the end zone. Just started running, and my legs carried me from there.
You were aware pre-game that he had a low trajectory?
I wouldn't say pre-game, but just getting the feel of it through the game. You take a glance at it in pre-game, but, that's no players. That's just him kicking, warming up and stuff like that. But as the game progressed, we take a look at that. We identify that. Some kickers are higher than most. At the end of the day, we just have to play with what we got. But we got a pretty good beat on it, and then just took off from there. You seen the results.
Do you got that chase down on Stafford last year?
I can't really remember. I couldn't tell you that, but I know I did today. So
you got the first field goal as well? Field goal?
I have no clue. We were just all around celebrating. But, whether we did or we didn't, it's a team defense. It's a team effort. And, I think that's one thing that we all, especially the room that we have and the unit that we have, when one guy makes a play, it's like the whole defense makes a play. So we don't really look at it individually, accolades, but at the end of the day, as long as we get that ball on the ground, that's all that matters.
You did make the stop on 4th down, however. How big was that, number one, and number two, the fact that the offense was struggling, how big was it to hold them the field goals in the first half and kind of give you guys a chance to come back?
Could you tell me that first question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just like, the fact that you made the 4th down stop, the defense kind of kept the game close so the offense could.
Yeah, it's complimentary football at the end of the day. We didn't have to start that we wanted in the first half, offense and defense, so we knew we had a challenge coming into the second half. And, when you make a 4th down stop like that, that's a turnover. And the ball gets placed right there and the offense gets a chance to score. So either way, we treat that as a turnover on downs, obviously. But at the end of the day, you just go out there, you make the play. They play. It was the right call from Vic, and we went out there and executed, and that's what happened. So, and then what was your second question?
That was basically.
All offseason, you had talked about wanting to be available and how showing up to training camp. How much to this point, does that show the work that you put in, and what does today reveal about the work you put in?
My thing is just being consistent, stacking days, whether that's in practice or the game, being consistent. I don't want this to be a flash play. I don't want to be a flash play player. I want to be he's an every down guy. He has the ability to stop the run, stop the pass. And then at the end of the day, we let the chips fall where they lie. But I just want to make sure that I'm available on the field. And my role coming into this year was higher. They asked more of me. And you have to work a little bit harder to answer the call. And when you come in, and I feel like I came in shape during camp and just progressing through the season, it's what they're asking me. I want them to do whatever it takes to win. And if that's required of me, I'm willing to do it. So you go out here, I could care less about how people feel about it. I know I feel great. And that's all it is, just coming in there, just working, being consistent. That's my big thing, is just being consistent.
Jordan, at what point during the offseason, as you were trying to lose the weight, did you realize, I can see a difference now. This is really going to make me a better player?
Like I said previously, this is it's been in the making from like the beginning of last season, like the extra workouts, the Peloton, eating right, all this stuff. And, I always say the quote, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like the work that was being put in last season, y'all couldn't see it then until about the end point. And, I think it was just perfect timing, and I never really tracked my progress of how I feel or anything. I just tracked my progress of results. I came in, I weighed in my weight range. I feel good in my body. OTAs, I was feeling great. Camp, feeling great, getting more plays under my repertoire. So, and then just the coming from year 2 off of Vic's plan, his scheme, understanding his defense and what he wants and what he expects of his players. And I think all of that is just a combination of just keep chipping away at it. You just have to keep chipping away at it. Even when you feel like you're there, you have to keep going. And I think that's the point I'm at. It's just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
What was the...
When you cross the end zone, score the touchdown. You just kind of describe what's going through in your head at that moment, at that time.
When I turned around, everybody was running towards me. So all I could do was just stand there and wait for them to come. Because if I try to run away, I was going to get moshed. But I think it's just my thing was just the fight that we had, that fight in that team, the drive, the hunger that they had, not being down, not being out of the game, fighting to the very end, clawing to the very end. I think that was something that when that hit me and I seen everybody, I was just like, man, like, what a way to end the game. What a way to end the game. And it started off as ugly as it could be. But at the end of the day, we got the W. And just to see the light on everybody's faces, like if we would have came in and we didn't win the game like how we supposed to, it would have been all hell broke loose. But at the end of the day, it's easier to coach a game off a win than it is a loss. So I think that's just one thing that I can appreciate for the guys, and the culture that we have is just the fight that these guys have, man. Like you can see it in everybody's eyes. Nobody was down. Nobody was out. We was frustrated, of course, but at the end of the day, we knew we had to fix it. We had to get it right. And then, lo and behold, here we are.
For the third straight week, you guys found a way to win. Kept Dallas out of the end zone that first game, and you came up with a big play in Kansas City. What does that say about just the heart of this team?
That's the defense. That's the unit. We say one band, one sound. And if it comes to us ending the game, then it has to be that. And we just want to make sure that we're doing what was required of the win. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we have one more point than the other team.
Have you ever run that fast and that far in a game before?
In a game, probably not. I ain't run that fast since probably my combine. But, I mean, shoot, I don't know what miles per hour I hit, but I'm pretty sure it's something crazy.
They're all in on you. You see them coming. What all did they say? What was the celebration like?
It was just everybody just hugging, just jumping up and down. It's just we were just all excited. We were just all excited. In the locker room, we're all excited. And it's just it's a great feeling to have, especially at the end of the game, a hard-fought game like that. Like, hats off to the Rams, hats off to the coaching staff. Like, nothing but respect from them guys. They run hard, they play hard. And, it's just one of those games that when the chips are down, it's all on your back. You have to go out there and fix it.
Jordan, I know you said you wanted to get in better shape. You felt an internal, it sounds like you're saying you felt an internal pressure and drive to get yourself where you wanted to be. Did you hear anything from anyone outside the organization, outside the locker room, that provided any kind of motivation? Did you hear people saying, oh, imagine if he dropped a couple of pounds or anything along those lines?
I'm not really on social media, so I can't really say. But the only opinions that really matter to me. Not saying that y'all opinions don't matter to me, but everybody in that room, everybody that has a belief in me, everybody that believes, I think that's one thing that, that keeps me going. The belief that the team has in me, the belief that the coaches, the front office, myself, the belief in myself, most importantly, just knowing that I could go out there and I could do it, and I'm here to stay, and I'm here to play. Like, I don't want to be a guy that's just coming in on first and second down, stopping and running, and just leaving. I want to be able to impact more. I want to be able to do more. My role is higher. My calling is higher. So I'm willing to do that. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week, hopefully.
Oh, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
I am sure the Toyota electrifying moment features Jordan Davis. One band, one sound. Indeed, that sound is of sweet victory. By the way, at the Combine, 4.78 was his 40 time.
I had him in 4.77.
You had him 4.77?
Ran a little faster.
I had him I actually have him 4.76.
He was probably a little heavier, too, at the Combine.
Yeah.
5 tackles, 4 solo, a sack, a quarterback hit, and a touchdown to cap it off. What really was not the icing on the cake. I mean, all you need to do is win by 1. That's it.
Right.
So,
Oh, man.
he doesn't get points.
That was bad beats, huh?
I got one for you
It had
guys.
to be a bad beat.
I got one for you guys.
You got us.
Here you go. In their last 12 games, the Vikings are 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9-0 against everyone else. They're 0-3 against the Eagles.
That's the Vikings,
Really?
the Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah,
I messed it up.
Son of a gun.
I got Carson and
You better
Isaiah
stop for
Rodgers.
that.
I got Isaiah Rodgers on my mind. Two touchdown returns.
We
But
can use Isaiah Rodgers
the Rams,
today.
obviously.
Rams.
And the Rams are a good football team. That's a good football
They're
team.
9-0
Browns
against
back
everyone
now.
else, 0-3 against the Eagles.
And we never win games when Lane Johnson go out, especially
You're
go
right,
out in the
yeah.
first quarter. We never win games that
Or
way.
when Matt
But
Fryer
Fred-
comes in.
Yeah. Also, that's 17-0 in games that Jalen Hurts starts and finishes. That's a run, man.
And
that's
19-1. 19-1 in their last 20 games.
Yeah, I
They
can't
don't
say it
lose.
enough. Yeah.
They don't lose. Even when they're down 19 in the second half, they don't
Which is
lose.
crazy, but for Fred Johnson to come in and stop the bleeding the way he did was huge.
Huge.
Also, at the end of the game, we didn't take notice, well, a lot of people didn't take notice of, but Bennett came in to stop the bleeding. Even though Puka Nacua would catch the ball, Bennett at least
Got him on
made the tackle. We had so many times where Jackson just missed the tackle or just got pushed down and deboed. Bennett made the tackle, and that was huge in this game.
Yeah. Jaws, you always only look at the game at hand, and I get that. But we talked about before the season beginning that this was a tough schedule for the Eagles. And it's going to get tough next week with Tampa Bay. They got the division games as well. But to see how they have started with going to Kansas City last week and beating the conference champs, and starting with Dallas and beating the division, a hated rival, and then today. That's 3 tough wins.
This is a sensational start because when the schedule came out, all the teams that we played already went Circle Eagles, Circle Eagles, Circle Eagles. That was their focus. To be a good football team, to be a championship caliber team, you've got to beat the best. The Eagles right now are the best team in the National Football League. Oh, by the way, the Packers lost in case anyone didn't know that.
To the Browns?
To the Browns, yes.
Wow.
Any given Sunday. Before everyone gives them the trophy, let it go through Philadelphia first. But anyway, I love the fact that people are giving their best shot to Philadelphia. They want to beat the Eagles. They know they have to beat the Eagles. They want to be considered a contender, and we just polish them right off. And it'll be tough in Tampa Bay, but they'll be number 4.